"What do you want?" she said now in a quiet voice. "You." Every cell in his body screamed. His lion roared in approval. "Cool it." She was human, he reminded himself and his lion. She didn't have an animal to tell her that he was her mate. "I just want to talk." "To me?" she asked incredulously. "Yes." "But why?" How was he going to explain it? Can we start from the beginning? My name is Gabriel. Gabriel Russel." "I know who you are." "You do?" Now he was intrigued. He had known virtually nothing about her until this morning, except that she made the best goddamn pies he'd ever tasted. But she had known his name all this time? Why did she never come out to talk to him? The girls at Rosie's talk about you all the time," she said in a wilting voice. Great. He knew his reputation preceded him sometimes, and at this moment, he wished it hadn't. As far as he knew, he hadn't slept with any of the waitresses there, but up until a few years ago, he'd been the wild child of Blackstone. Somehow, he had to convince her that he wasn't that person anymore, and that from now on, no other woman would matter to him except her. "Temperance, may I come in so we can talk?" "I don't think that's a good idea." "Why not?" he asked, irritated. She flinched at his tone, and he felt like shit. "Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude." Unsure what to do, he raked his fingers through his hair. "Why did you run away?" Why would I stay?" She swallowed audibly. "I knew you were... There was a pause as she took a deep breath. "I know what I look like, okay? It's not a pretty sight. I'm used to people thinking I'm repulsive." "What?" He couldn't hold back the rage in his tone. His lion, too, roared in anger. "You think I was repulsed?" "Weren't you?" she challenged. He wasn't the type of man who was at a loss for words, but right now, he couldn't think of anything to say. How did I miss it? How did he not notice how she instinctively turned her right side away the moment he burst in? Even now, her body was angled away, and a curtain of hair covered her scars. She thought he had been looking at her in disgust. Her? His mate? How could he think of her as not perfect in every way? He opened his mouth to deny it, but she put a hand up. "Please just leave me alone. Whatever it is you want to say to me, I'm sure it's not that important." Not important? His lion shook his head in denial, unable to process the idea that she was his mate as not important. There had to be a way to fix this. But how? "If you give me 1 minute, please." The distress in her voice made him sick to his stomach. "Please, leave." His lion was fighting him, clawing at him. He didn't want to leave their mate. What if something happened to her? Was this place even safe? What was the security like here? Were there any rival males around to claim her before they did? If anything happened to her while they were away, the lion would never forgive him. However, he had to let his rational human side win out this time. In time, she would come to understand.